Welcome guys to Slam and Spring against Miguel+Bruh here in the loser bracket round of 16. Let's jump into this game directly. We are starting on map pack with Team Random Civilization. We have Bruh playing the Huns, his teammate Miguel is playing the Portuguese here on Golden Crater. We have Spring with his Huns and Slam with the Portuguese. Let's take a quick look. Spring got the market, so he will have a big push with a lot of paladins. NCA, Bruh's playing this massively on the stable count. Let's take a look how they will play this out. A lot of wall by Slam, playing this quite cleverly, not losing a lot of villagers against normally a much faster civilization. And Slam even paying 4k food, 2k gold here. I believe Spring's production will be just massive, and Miguel needs to defend heavily. Who's the favorite here? It is quite tough, honestly. I'd say it should be Miguel+Bruh, but I think we will be in for a very close series. And Slam and Spring could do it as well. I think this could absolutely go into game 7, and I couldn't really predict anything here. Obviously both teams already falling short in the round of 16 winner bracket before. Let's take a look how much pressure Spring will be able to do. I think this could also be decided at the draft table when it comes to the civilization. Massive amount here already for Bruh, 124 military, but Slam not shy of that number as well. So the two Portuguese players indeed struggling quite heavily. They are in their 70s, the Huns players at 140. Slam, I think he shouldn't patrol that aggressively, and indeed he's trying to go a bit further back, trying to take another engagement here. What unit should you make with Portuguese? I believe lots of halberdiers are making a lot of sense, maybe even squeeze in some onagers, but I don't mind organ guns at all. I think you need to play this very defensively, camp quite a bit, and the Huns players are absolutely dictating this war. Portuguese, one of the weaker civilizations. Now you can see Miguel already trying to expand here, and therefore maybe spread a bit too thin, having some troubles. And as we can see, Slam is playing this a bit better. Very tight defense here, halberdiers doing their job in the front, some organ guns shooting from behind. This looks like a pretty solid defense, and Bruh is retreating. I'd say this could be the first win here for Spring Slam, just simply because how well Slam is holding this. Siege was lagging for quite some time here by Bruh as well. Still, Bruh can kill this, but it feels like Spring is just doing a bit of a better job here. And I have to say, it sounds so weird, but it feels like the MVP of this game so far is Slam with his miraculous defense here. Just clamping up those halberdiers, getting the organ gun numbers up, now holding this, slowly getting onto his own gold spot, giving Spring so much time to push here. Now we see Bruh coming over, but that's not the great. It's 7 and 7. But Slam now holding this, and look at that mass amount of organ guns. They are doing quite some damage. And well, we are back again, so we didn't miss much. And that was very short, a very short drop. I have no idea what really happened there. And yeah, it's just Saturday evening, Sunday evening. We will see this over and over again till Twitch gets their servers probably set up. And yeah, let's take a look how this continues here. Slam now even pushing, and they have a solid population. Look at that, 200 and 150, and now Spring with his massive army trying to take another engagement here, trying to go for another goal. I think those organ guns wouldn't even perform too poorly against that castle with their 20 damage output here. But yeah, just sending some traps forward is the great thing as well. Now we can see Miguel going for Arbalest Skirmisher Halberdier. in a late or 12-minute DM game, not the greatest army composition ever. Now we can see them trying to squeeze in, trying to go for the double, even trying to micro those CA down one by one. Arbiter is not fighting cost efficiently though. It feels like they will clear this up though. And we're kind of getting into a stabilized game, I would say. But then look at the numbers, which are still heavily in favor for our North American people here. Slam. Nice amount of organ guns, really like that out of him. Slam. Giving some more resources to Spring, who has a lot of food. He needs to get up more on the gold front. Obviously this is tough on Golden Crater. Bruh getting some sweet raids in. That's good for them. Doing some Tarkans here, doing the damage, and some Paladins as well. But Spring sees what's going on now, trying to regroup. And another go. Bruh. This will be tough for him. And trade amount, better for Spring and Slam. Bruh Miguel, I'd say roughly 20 behind. Oh, Spring's army just so good here. Still having the masses. Bruh needs to come over, but therefore they're losing so much of the gold. Whew. No gold control at this time for our South Americans, and as we can see, looks so much better for Slam, for example, who is getting a lot of control over here. And did I drop again? No, not really, right? Okay. And Rampush now going into the hard base here of Miguel. And the big engagement here in the middle, but that's mainly Spring against Bruh. Slam is now coming over as well. Some army of Miguel was there as well. But now so many organ guns just taking care of this situation. Taking down those castles now, and how can they ever get those organ guns down? Maybe with a lot of paladins, but paladins cost gold. At the moment, no gold excess except those 24 trade cards, and he's still producing more trade cards, so investing into gold there as well. Population looks pretty brutal, and Spring and Slam taking this first win here. And as I said before, it was just the big difference when it came to the defense and the attack. Bruh was attacking into 4 castles, very tight area, halberdier, organ gun, castle defense, and Spring just forced the fight over here. Miguel, who was trying to expand towards the middle and didn't get those beautiful tight engagements that you need to have against an overcommitting Han player. I think they should have doubled a bit more. Bruh, just after he saw how much Slam camped this, just go to the other side with all your army. Would have been the better choice, in my opinion. Yeah, Bruh, super active there. Did he get any resources? Yeah, quite a bit. But Slam even paid close to 15k there to Spring. That's just enormous. Let's take a look at gold collected. We have a combined 20k to 12k. And Persian-Frank War here on Green Arabia coming up. Obviously, Franks, one of the fast civilization, Persian, one of the slowest civilizations. So we'll see how this will play out. And 5.7 organ guns 2 OP, not really. They got buffed, but they were pretty bad before. I think they're in a fine spot now. Yeah. Oh god. Look at that response. It's pure madness. Drill online, trying to search for some validation or whatever. Weather is absolutely gorgeous, and she's just showing her legs inside. Barbecue turkmen. Oh, beautiful. I love this guy so much. Okay, we are jumping into game number 2 here, guys. It is Green Arabia. It is Persian and Frank War.Bruh is playing this with the... Let me change... okay, now we got the overlay right. He's playing the Persians, and as I said with Miguel playing the Franks. He is playing against the Franks of Slam as well, so it will be a mirror matchup when it comes to the side. Left hand side Persians, right hand side Franks action. And no one lost a villager. KD 1-1 for everyone. Oh no, building some barracks here. And Miguel, well, that's too many stables. That's, yeah. Well, Frank stables work 40% faster, and that's before conscription. So I don't really think you need that many stables here. Miguel overproducing a bit, maybe not enough houses. Let's take a look. 43 out of 45, yeah, that's what I thought, and losing a lot of villagers here. Slam with a pretty sweet start. Miguel down to 6, and now it comes down how Spring is transitioning into some better units than only Halberdier and Camels, because obviously Persians is designed to be strong with other civilizations. Seems like Bruh is taking better care of that, and yeah, sweet stuff for him. Miguel blocking those corners, but the village actually already sneaked through, but will get denied by another hit squad here. So trade will be delayed for quite a bit, but in a Frank-Persian war, food is more important than gold. Ah, brackets. Ay. Okay, let me do edit command brackets into that as well. Okay. Oh, that's a big stream here by Slam. He is at roughly 90 population with the 80 and the 2 Brazilian players around their 80s, I would say, as well. A small advantages here for Slam and Spring, but not too important. Still denying the trade. No, and the villager is running into death again, it seems. Okay, now the first scorpions and the first elephants are out. Seems like Spring has a bigger army here. Military is 85 for him, 70 for Bruh. He's sending in a bit more, but will lose a lot of his very exposed scorpions here at the front. That's obviously not the greatest scenario. Paladin engagement, Slam thinks better of it, wants to get the Halberdiers to the front. Why can I not see chat? Well, we can see you. You're on stream, and I can see you in the normal chat as well. So, open your eyes. Maybe that helps. Forward base by Slam here, obviously building the cheaper castle. It really helps out. Lots of HP on them as well, and it feels like he is taking the better engagement here with 90 military against 80 at the moment, and having all of them at the front. The castles helping out, and at the same time he's getting more castles up, so that's pretty sweet for him. Sniping one down of Miguel, and this looks very promising here for Slam for sure. And that just shows you how strong Rubenstock were in the round of 16, and they won the 4-0 there against Spring and Slam, and now Slam and Spring are playing quite a solid game. Spring actually trying to come over there. I want to see some house walls. Shove there. Control in the middle. Let me take a look. We still don't have markets here. Well, he should have been able to build one here, right? No? Oh, yeah. Ugly stuff. Then on mass halberdiers. Some X-Men in the back. And that means the fight should really go into Slam's favor. But, well, the numbers were a bit better for Miguel as it seems. Is he sending more in? Brings to controlling this area. Let's take a look. We'll get one castle down. The big problem is still this side here. Slam just 100 more pop than his enemy in the red. Was trying to get some food eco rolling, but cannot really get it. Oh, even some stuff was denied here. Unfortunate gold spot for him as well. Maybe could have called a restart in that one. One exposed gold here, and where is his third gold spot? Oh, he's getting that one at the site. Oh, still very big push here in the middle. Needs to get more scorpions out. I don't really see any elephants out on the map. Military count is just not even a fair fight. Nice houseball here by Spring+Bruh. Well, that's ballsy. Taking the stone quite in the front here. But yeah, the trade is so exposed. That's so much food eco denied here already that a person really cannot afford to lose. Miguel is trying to get another defensive castle up. Not the greatest food eco by Bruh here. As you can see, a lot of like second, third row farms, and they are placed beautifully as well. And the elephant trying to go for another thing. Looks nice for Spring+Slam. Yeah, totally agree. Like that they're building the houses at the site, so they aren't blocking the trade. Well, actually that house is pretty horrible. But it just seems like there's no stopping here. And, okay, a lot of resources to slam here. So probably want to see some more castle pushing out of the French player, who is now thinking about the very long game and making sure he's getting a healthy portion of wood over at the other side as well. And Miguel+Bruh, they realize, damn, that didn't really work out. And yeah, that was just a very poor start by Miguel. Too many stables, too few houses, then didn't get a lot of pop out, and Slam just played it a bit sharper. Well, where is this? Am I confused? Okay. And yeah, sweet stuff by Slam again. He's performing so well. I'm very impressed. Take a look at the food collected. Spring and Slam, so much better than Bruh and Miguel there. Society, yeah, shows you Miguel didn't really get onto the villager numbers he wanted to go for. And now we're going into the TIFF draft of Golden Crater. And I'm spectating. But it didn't start yet. Nili, is this surprising for you? No. Nili, if you are still going in 2 hours, if you can host, like, say what you will be doing a 3D modeling of TaToH's face. Well, if he's doing that, send me the link again, and I could do that. I feel like Slam Spring are a bit underrated. They did pretty well for the RiuT team as well, and through 2 games with their trade loss. Well, they didn't play poorly, yeah. I think we could have lost that Golden Crater game for sure. Didn't they lose 1-4 with this Christ team? No. They lost against Tombstock. Well, Slam is a beast. We can all agree on that. They updated the score, guys. Also, to be fair, Slam said something about being nervous to play with Rubenstock. Why is he nervous? That makes no sense. He's playing from home in a super unimportant game as an underdog against a beatable team. It's like... And it's not... Okay, well, just Slam's nerves as it seems. Fit Batman. You would be nervous playing with your idol as well. Well, I was nervous playing in China on the stage, but I'm not nervous playing TheViper in rated games. Slam is never playing DM. Yeah, I offered him to coach him, but he, kind guy he is, was very thankful, but never followed up. And do you think you look like an effort? No. Both in VC. Interesting. Okay, Civ draft starts now. Some Discord, exclamation mark Discord. You think you're more worried about Tyrant Plebs or Quenier? Well, we will play Tyrant Plebs first, so I'm more worried about them now. Is Viper better than True DM in general, not just GA? Maybe, it's tough to say. It has to be one of the two. Okay, so global bans first. We are looking at Golden Crater again. Interesting. Come on, global band. If you actually try, Viper would be better. Hellrider, where do you get your qualification from to say something like that? I love you, Nili. Thank you so much. And Gothar band. Remember, guys, it's crossed. So Spring and Slam actually on the right hand side. Left hand side is Miguel+Bruh. Now we have bans only for the enemy. Jitba better. Guys, please stop it. Just stop it. Italians banned, Slavs banned. So what we often see is now that Spring and Slam pick the Slavs and Miguel+Bruh squirrel rapists. I could pick Italians. Okay, so Slav is picked, Bumi is picked as well. Best player is Clemenzo anyways. Well, we will see Clemenzo and Snay going against Quendici after this series. Now we have 2 more bans for the enemies as well. What's the best team bonus for 2-player teams? Poof! Some people say Slavs, because no one needs to build houses. Italian actually a viable pick. Well, those Japanese crossbowmen are pretty good against elephants, and a lot of people like to build elephants. Oh, Clemenzo, why would you write in chat? That's so... I don't like that. But I am just hoping it's after game 1. Please don't send me WhatsApp now. Nili, do you want a co-caster? Oh. Viper lost to Jitba because of Hans Wars. Well, he picked Hans War twice as his own civilization. We have Vietnamese and Burmese banned now, so they really didn't want to see elephants of their enemies. Only giving the Malay as an option. So Slavs Malay could be the option on the right hand side. And indeed Slav Malay. So they banned 3 elephant civs, and Spring+Slam picked the 4th one. And we see Burmese and Celts. So we have double elephant, double siege civilizations. Cheaper siege and cheaper elephants for Spring+Slam. Stronger elephants and stronger siege for Miguel+Bruh. Interesting scenario for sure. I'm trying to keep up with the chat, but it's giving me somewhat of a headache here. With so many people coming up with wild opinions of their own. That's not what I'm used to in a Twitch chat. Normally we only have serious discussions with only facts, and people say, I like what you're saying, I respect your opinion, and then leave it to it. That's normally how my chat rolls, but maybe not today. Berber's not good in the end? Not that good. I heard Vietnamese top team game Civ. Not that bad. Jipper was true, was very interesting in that World Cup tournament. Was it? It was a pretty underwhelming series. But you also think the world is round? Well, I'm not stupid. It was round. How can I see so far on the horizon? He's disrespecting chat. I can do with it whatever I want. It's my chat. It is Celt plus Burmese against Slav and Malay. Exactly, Mr. Did. Took good care of what was coming up. Oh, it looks flat to me, but I prefer to think I live in Arabia. Well, if you guys think the Earth is flat, then explain that to me. Clearly shows that the Earth is not flat. That the Earth is not round. I think Nili would win a 1-1 Viking war in Black Forest against the Viper. I don't think so. But I would be one of the most annoying guys on that.
Yes.
I chat first time actually here and not consuming the YouTube Rex. Thanks for consuming and welcome for a change over here. It's amazing to me how few people know DM, honestly. Someone asked, is true noob? He looks bad in Twitch chat. And now I go and I want to scream. Scream if you want to. And watch game number 3 if you want to as well, because that's what I'm having in store for you guys. Now we are looking into the captain's mode pick here. Bruh and Miguel, they are playing Celts with a 5 barrack opening, the Burmese with a double, triple, quadruple stable. On the other side we have Spring with his Malay, so it is elephant, and we have siege over here. Slam building way too many houses, and so is Spring, actually losing a villager and losing 2. Did Miguel get 2 villagers here? Or did he just kill the scout as well? Okay, so that's a pretty solid start. Spring minus 2 villagers as it seems. Interesting. And the scout is still alive, could so maybe snag a villager later on. Bruh actually coming around as well. Not a lot of houses here for Mr.Bruh though. $300 HP, 4 defense, 320 HP, 8 defense. Ay. That's quite a solid difference. When it comes to fighting against maybe scorpions later on. Oh, they don't have elephants as well. Castles getting up here for defense. Bruh seems to be super fine. Slam going for a lot of champions, going for his scorpions here, and a market. I'm not even sure. I believe Slavs don't have guilds. Ah. Now first attacks coming in. Slam this far somewhat passive. Relations. Actually Slam leading at the moment. Oh, and surviving that as a shot. Bro, can he get another shot off? Slam just sneaking in, pop, and running away. When I say run away, I mean running into death. Okay, we have over here a mass amount of elephants against another mass amount of elephants. Only now adding some halberdiers with +7, but I think that isn't the biggest of differences. We need to add some other units though. Spring, I want to see some scorpions for sure. And now they're coming. Spring should just get on the big masses here quite easily. Still no SO support on that side. Now adding some Rambites as well. Oh, and those siege units here. Oh, those scorpions won't survive an SO shot, even if they are killed. Improves. And this a bit more cost efficiently, and that castle is actually going up at quite a sweet spot, but could easily get killed. At the same time, still no support, and this is a pure 1v1 so far. I didn't see anyone slinging resources yet. Numbers pretty low for Mr. Spring though. Each workshop denied now, but numbers aren't that important. If one guy is going elephant only and the other guy is going a Rambi halberdier, which isn't performing too poorly against melee elephants for sure. Now using that Hasa from the start even, trying to snack down, well, dying against a champion. That didn't change much. Spring desperately needs some support to his elephants. Has some scorpions in the back. Rambi is now trying to run around, and they could snipe a lot of villagers here. Maybe one elephant and go for some trade raids. Actually, Spring's market's not super well positioned. Slam's villager count is just enormous. That's so true. In general, his population popped 190 at the 10-minute mark after already losing 85 units. So really is having his production rolling, and we see a small pause here. Time for us to recap what happened. Spring did go for a lot of units. How are his resources looking? He still has a lot of elephant queued up, but not in all stables. When it comes to siege, no more scorpions in the queue. Ay. Everyone is meant VNS or SY. I would give very good odds of VNS not making it into the top 4. Like very good odds. So I can't even make it to their own Nations Cup finals. Well, you only need to be top 4, right? And I think they should achieve that. Looks played actively again. He is coming back for that, right? I think so. The big question is what will happen with Winchester and Slam. Those are probably the two best players not yet signed with any team. What they will be up to. 290. Well, that happens to all of us, right? One day we will perform pretty well, and then the same guy just changes small thing up and just crushes you. And we continue in this game at the 10-minute mark here. Rambai trying to play the hit and run, and oh, it seems like we had a drop. We will take another look at the next 1.5 minutes. Those speed road riders actually now trying to take the engagement, but running into a lot of scorpions here, and those boy are at the front, so they will just get shredded. Feels a bit like Kel's player who isn't really getting onto his numbers here. Pop 100 for him, 180 for Slam, and we had a drop and need to restore this game, and it's instantly launched, so launched, and that's not a big problem. But Miguel is doing quite well against Spring, I'd say. Interesting stuff. And we are taking a quick peek at the achievements. Military numbers, Slam quite big, Bruh quite big on that side, and over here Slam never really got onto those good numbers. Look at that massive amount of resources Slam already got here. Maybe he used that market, but already 106 villagers. Good stuff for him. Let's take a quick peek if Slavs have guilds or not. I personally believe they don't. And they don't. Yeah. Well, that wasn't too clever. The Con vs Terror is my favorite arena matchup. Oh. All 4 players in the game did load the restore and are going for it pretty soon. Speculate started. It looks like Slam is winning and Spring is dying. One is messaging me that my settings were wrong, but I don't think so. Let me take a look. It is GA, right? Oh, I think they played the wrong map. I might seriously have played the wrong map. But we will take a look at that after the game. And for now, I obviously will let them play this out. Yeah, I didn't take good care. Miguel getting some quite solid raids in over here. And that's pretty brutal. Spring completely dying. Well, that castle won't live for too long. Now trying to go for some Rambais, but they won't perform too well against Elephant. He was actually going for Karambits, and they won't perform well against Rambai and War Elephants. Better Elephants. Slam still with his massive army around. This looks like a very scrappy game. Pretty sure Spring is crying. And at the same time, it should be Bruh not giving the best feedback how things are going thus far. Oh, but that was a big shot against all those traps. So now buying quite a bit of time. And suddenly Slam losing a lot of steam here. What is he up to? Is he trying to maybe intercept and go over to Miguel, who is still pushing quite nicely and is getting all the raids into the gold spots as well. Did get raids over here. Spring trying to regroup some. Did already lose 2 castles, I believe. Number 3 in heavy danger, and I wouldn't be surprised if 4 and 5 would follow here as well. Rambai is now around. Trade is getting raided as well at the same time. trade not even set up yet by Mr.Bruh. Slam now coming over, trying to clear this up, and they're trying to go into the stabilizing game. Interesting situation. And yeah, Bruh now needs to push. Because he has so much army that is not getting used at the moment. Slam is coming over and should clear this up quite easily. Lots of Slav halberdiers. Should bring some siege as well. Elephants are following, and well, as we said before, he already has the great eco, so maybe spring quite a bit. He only has 40 villagers himself, so he needs a buff there for sure. Oh, yeah. Oh, actually sniped that one. Now Spring is pushing back. Game kind of stabilized. Only 10 pop difference now for both teams. And oh, both have very weak armies. The team with the cheaper units is always better if you have the good ecos and are maxed out. The team with the stronger units is a bit better. Oh boy, and those boyars are getting some raids in here at the woodline of Miguel, who himself is only at 80 villagers, so cannot really afford too many losses. SO shots here into the own troops even. Some friendly fire has been dealt, trying to micro some Islam here. It needs 2 shots to kill an enemy SO. Tries to go in for more raids, but thinks better of it since there were castles up. Weird thing is that Miguel, the guy who was pushing all this time, failed to set up a great eco. They didn't have the greatest trade because Bruh took so long to control his corner, and therefore he's kind of out of steam here. Looks like we both switched from Frantic to SY. Well, maybe Lux was SY before that, right? Oh god! What? I will never read the chat again. How did he just throw 20 Rambo without even shooting? Like, that was just the weirdest move. It's like when I have 30 villagers too much, I sometimes do that. But that was a Rambice. Ay. Okay, elephant siege push now, and that looks pretty solid, I have to say. And some SO shots in there again. Trap against trap. And where's Slam pushing at the moment? Trying to get some higher numbers over here. I don't like that no one is really controlling that area. Seems like there was something before. I believe that was Slam's castle and Bruh's castle, but got cleared up eventually. And now Spring somewhat pushing again. 70 villages for him only. That's not the numbers I want to see. And look at that! Defensive keeps here. Well, wants to stop some trade raiding, but well, I think that is the wrong matchup, dude. Well, against Burmese actually it kind of makes sense, but well, most natural thing would be to go into a raid here, and there are actually no keeps, so not the greatest thing. Are those keeps here? Okay. Great cut. Now running a bit better. Boyas again finding some kills here. Halberdiers, I'm not sure if he should really continue to go for Halberdiers now. He isn't going for a lot of siege. Oh, interesting go here at the side by Mr.Bruh himself, who is getting some kills. Boyas coming up and clearing those rams though. That's no biggie for them. The Rambice. Again, not taking the greatest engagements against all those scorpions because SO were lagging by Bruh for such a long time. Now trying to go for the go here. Burmese still sitting at 3 castles close by here. Needs to get onto more elephants again. 112 villagers should indicate that he's actually having quite a solid food eco. Don't monks counter elephants pretty hard? Well, not really. I believe Malay have Herstory and Faith. I believe against Burmese you can do that. We can take a look at that a bit later. I'm still not 100% familiar against that as well. I think against Malay you cannot build monks. Oh. Some castle war here. Big fight continues over at the central here, and getting that castle up eventually, I would say. Trying to go for another patrol, for some more aggression. Albert is just trying to get more kills. Defensive castle here by Slam, trying to desperately hold on while he's hoping that Spring can maybe do something. And Spring is killing quite a lot of castles, so that is indeed something. Wouldn't mind to see that if I was Slam, who is now trying to find another angle over here. Champions were patrolling a bit too far in the back. Will that SO, well, it changes target. Would have maybe focused those traps down earlier. Could have been the better choice. That card's actually focusing down the ram instead of the scorpions. And therefore, Scorpion Masses still around. Push? Not really, I'm not 100% sure why we saw an X, probably because... yeah, seems like Miguel wanted some more SO shots, and those were some good SO shots against the elephants indeed. Spring with only 24 military at the moment, 73 trade cards. I believe that's too much for a Malay player. He is still going for elephants that cost massive amount of food, and some scorpions that aren't that cheap on the wood side as well. So I'm a bit surprised he went for that many. It feels like Miguel wants to get the engagements here. Has a nice amount of battle elephants now. He's closing down the distance against those scorpions. Getting the kill after kill. Where is the army of Spring? He just built too many villagers. Look at that, 100 villagers, 70 trade cards. Spring, he's not getting the army out. Look at that, all stables actually running, but he does not have the numbers here. This could get ugly. He doesn't have this pop space. He can only build 25 army at the moment. That's way too many villagers and trade cards. Spring could lose that because he builds too much army. Ay, 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 ay. For now he's holding though. Queuing up massive amount of elephants, as you can see. And Karambits, well, that's obviously a horrible unit for him as well. He doesn't have pop space, because he's so weak. Push continues here. Slam lost this castle. This is looking better and better for the Brazilians, I'd say. Trying to run around. Let's take a look. Can he find another engagement? First of all, smashing down those boyars. And now Slam needs to help again. But at the same time, he is losing quite a bit at home. And remember guys, all the barracks he's losing, he's also losing some pop space. He only has 4 castles, so maybe he's, well, getting a house pretty soon. Interesting stuff. Well, remember guys, Miguel+Bruh did win the GM tournament 1.5 years ago, together with Rubenstock. So whoever says those players aren't DMers or aren't playing a lot of DM, well, maybe they're focusing more on RM, but they surely know what they're doing. players on pretty solid population still though. Slam losing so much ground. A lot of army that isn't really efficient. Oh yo, killing those markets now. 1 market down, but those were 7 markets. Quite some numbers for sure. And well, population isn't dropping. They're only killing some wood at the moment. Not much more with that push. It's impossible that they get all the markets. But simply no military out on the map for spring. 91 villagers, 72 trade cards. That's not how it works. Much map control for the Brazilians as well. Yeah, absolutely true. Pushing in the trade here, still raiding the bases of Slam over and over again. Would love to see some more production over here actually. I'm trying to be annoying in the middle areas, but it's getting smashed down over there. Look at how they are vanishing there. Another castle fire. That's a big problem of the melee elephants. Not the highest or the lowest HP out of all those bad elephants, and not the greatest defense against anything that's flying towards their way. Slam pop 160 at the moment. Let's take a look at his resources. He desperately needs resources from spring. Overboomed anyway, so would make quite a lot of sense. This castle cleared up again. It was super tough to hold, especially because he didn't build a lot of other production close to it. I'm doing a beautiful job of helping spring out. That's some sweet amount of traps here. What is up with Twitch on Saturday evenings and Sunday evenings? The prime times, yeah, it is tough. And yeah, they're very good at other days, but it's just destroying so much, because there we have the highlight games, there we have the hype, we have the big numbers, we have all the people watching and willing to get entertained at their prime times. And then Twitch. Isn't it like, I know that they are not trying to get this, but it would be so much in their interest if they just got that done as well. Those 2 super Rambis killing all trade. Yeah, they're doing a great job. And yeah, I absolutely have to make sure to never add a Nili drop emote. Otherwise people will spam it every time and I get super annoyed. Let's take a look how this continues here. And yeah, those 2 Rambis still doing a massive job. But Slam is in that trade here as well. Let's take a look. He is taking more and more Rambis to the front. That trap is doing a superb job. Not as good as those 2 Rambis, but 30-30. And how do Slam and oh god, so many good onager shots here. How do Slam and Spring always get it done to throw those games by losing all their trade and not taking care? And those are just 2 Rambis again. Well, finally champions are coming over, but maybe even not. Well, there they are enough. Okay, but those were surely some losses here. Bombard cannons now around by Miguel, trying to maybe snipe all those onagers. An axe by Spring. Seems like he wants to go for some action now here at the front. I think Slam and Spring have it. Oh, Miguel now going for the big eco raider. Look at that. That's a lot of unprotected eco. It wasn't for those 4 keeps. And again, one boat rider doing some good work here. Doing us finally pop space for army. Well, and suddenly he's at 90 military, right? Take a look at his resources. Oh, well, very low on gold, and uh-oh! Well, he's losing that engagement for sure. And we'll lose this castle. That's getting tricky for him now. Opens this trade quite a bit. And we're going for his own. Not using his elephants perfectly. Losing some more trade cards again. And we are down to, well, still okay-ish numbers, I would say, in the trade. Ay, oh god, close your eyes, guys. Oh, that will be so ugly. Ay. In the trade, but well, won't really get the damage done as much as they received before. Spring now down to pop 120, Slam at 144. Miguel seems to be maxed out. Bruh just trying to get those done and then going for the kill. And let's take a look how this goes down. It feels like Miguel and Bruh will finally get their first win here. Those battle elephants of Burmese are just so strong. The push continues and we are going further forward into the trade. 4 left markets are trying to stay up here. Bruh just helping very nicely. Slam seems just to be patrolling or producing from the other side. Different to Bruh, who is just building some siege workshop and is building some stuff over here. Bruh going for another push. Slam never really was able to get control of that front area back. Now the boat riders coming over, just trying to set themselves in the trade. No real answer to that. In the meanwhile, those trade cards will all die because of the markets not really being safe at this moment, and this has to be the GG coming any second now. Pop 190, pop 190 against 55 only by Spring. I'm a bit surprised that they didn't resign this game already. And finally, GG. 1 hour game. Maybe they wanted to drag it over 1 hour. And we have the 2-1 score. Still in favor for Spring and Slam, but Miguel and Bruh indeed making it the closer series that, yeah, everyone was kind of expecting, or a lot of people were kind of expecting. Okay, so then let me check the settings again. It is, yeah, Golden Crater. Should have been Golden Crater as a map. They picked Green Arabia. So that was a mistake by them for sure. But I think I won't let them replay this one. Is that the longest game ever? I will upload after the tournament is finished. There was a game on Friday, I believe, that I observed. Or was it yesterday? I'm not 100% sure. God, so long days of streaming, where they were completely out of wood and fought over 1 hour out of wood. So the game took like 3.5 hours. Wood price was at like 800 gold at the end. Yeah. G-Man! See you tomorrow as well, where we will have Stark against CL. Finally we will have Stark against CL. Does Nili ban spoiler people? Well, maybe. But don't try it. Hello, Robo. Where were you? I was admitting this game and already effed up because they played the wrong map game number 3. I won't. Spoilers are kept from MP rated so nicely. Seems like you aren't a nice human being. I had to sleep. Okay. Never heard that before. And yeah, it's Sunday in Australia. They played Green Arabia instead of Crater Lake. They did the draft and I didn't realize. Leffert going to Memstead and banning Lufferbong ahead of time. Replay then. Well, they finished a 1 hour game. I won't let them replay. They seriously will get super pissed if they have to replay. And it's like, we aren't benefiting at all from replaying it. They probably still don't know. Maybe we'll force them to play a show match, just so that we can see Golden Crater. Is it Crater Lake? What are the rules concerning towers? Well, you cannot build bomber towers. Everything else you can enjoy, especially siege towers. I think G-Man will never die. I think every time we will have an arena game now, some people will spam it. Maybe in Master Arena 9, some people might forget, but I will be back for Master Arena 11 just to reactivate it. Or maybe we will call it Thank You G-Man. Master of Thank You G-Man 9. Something like that. Okay, let's jump into game number 4 now. We are looking at Prairie Hidden Picked Civilization. And yeah, we see Slav Khmer War here. Seems to be the good choice for the players at the moment. Building with a lot of stables, not building a second house though. Well, that's optimistic if you ask me. And Brew will have some real troubles. Well, okay, we're still playing Slavs. Why do I always keep forgetting that? Miguel is getting some weird raids against him. Didn't build a single house. On the other side, he did get some kills done. And we have Spring going down to 2 villagers at one point. Aye, rough start for him. Slam going for the build-up here with a lot of siege workshops early on. 5 barracks as it seems, and that could get tricky. Did I see Cavalier mixed in by the Khmer player? Interesting stuff for sure. Oh, pop. And yeah, those Khmer, there's 2 hits to kill a villager. More Khmer better elephants. That's pretty massive as well. Getting down to 5 villagers, getting more siege workshops up, and we have the Slam defense again, maybe with some more halberdiers. Well, he's doing a pretty good job against Bruh again, who is taking a horrible engagement here, and suddenly is looking at only pop 40. Same time Miguel is looking, well, somewhat okay-ish, but Spring now with his mass elephants. Where are the scorpions? I can only see 2 scorpions now, and that was a big problem, that he lost so many villagers early on. Now he does not have enough siege workshops up, because, oh well, he does have them up now. I would have loved to have them earlier. Take a look how Miguel's defense will go again. That's an X by Mr.Bruh, who wants to see some SO coming forward. Oh, and Slam, well, he is out of position this time. Where are all his halberdiers? He is only at pop 40. Same time, Khmer's running over the Slav player over at the left hand side here. Light Cavaliers controlling that corner, but that's not too important. And we have a heavy fight for all the corners, as it seems, except the left hand side. Well, this is blocked as well, so somewhat contested everywhere. Spring just rolling over Miguel here, who's still adding some Cavaliers, which is super weird. I want to see more Scorpions, more SO, more Halberdier action. And didn't really get the numbers up. He's at pop 50. Spring is rolling him over with pop 90. Bankbuster not really happy there as well. At the same time, Bruh is not getting the kills in. Only Rams, you need to add some more traps with that as well. Cavaliers now doing the damage, but look at that starting base here of Mr. Miguel. He cannot be really happy with how this is looking. Bruh is now coming over though and trying to clear this up, but he is just heavily outnumbered. Didn't bring any Scorpions either. This isn't looking great for our Brazilians here. Slam and Spring on the verge of taking it to their 3rd win. Bruh with 80 pop, Miguel with only 30. They have no control over anything. Even look at where Bruh built this market. Just said to Miguel, yeah, you will take that top corner there. Well, not looking like that's going to happen really here. And Spring is playing a solid, better elephant style, getting a lot of them out. And, well, did get some raids against him. Miguel still trying to defend some, but they just lost so much pop here. That's just no chance. Feels like Bruh still wants to take it into the longer game here, but he is pop 80 and Slam just with a massive army running around. Nili, would you ever consider giving poker coaching? Yes. I did it in the old days. I actually got 2 guys queued up that want poker coaching as well. So that's something that will happen as well. And GG, Bruh and Miguel giving up this prairie game, a rather fast one. Miguel not taking the early good engagements there. Spring actually was too late with all his seeds, but Miguel didn't fight in tight areas with all his Scorpions behind. And we have the 3-1 lead now. Giving them 3 match points in the best of 7. Remember guys, we are in the lower bracket, so whoever loses this series is out of the tournament. Miguel, I didn't get a lot of kills done today. At least not in this game. Villager, we're pretty low. Why do I always keep clicking technologies. They aren't saying a lot in the game, I would say. Well, happens to the best of us. And me. Next poker stream, Nili coaching would 100% be there. Well, when I do the sub coaching, I offer poker as well. Obviously, like 98% of my viewers prefer to get Age of Empires coaching there. But yeah, I think like my poker coaching has so much more value than my Age of Empires coaching. But it's tough to profit from that as hard from my Age of Empires coaching. Map number 5 is actually Team Islands here, Portuguese and Byzantines. That's an interesting match. Age of Empires coaching while giving poker tips. 2 for 1. Well, that's interesting. Oh god, seems like Bruh doesn't even have the map. Now changing the host. My old days I was taking $150 an hour for poker coaching. The good old days. Not sure what I'm worth now. Are these group stages always awkward? What? The good old days. You give me $4? Well, yeah, group stages are weird. Group stages should always be played GSL format. Like 4 people. Like double elimination bracket, simply. $4 pretty good. Could buy a dinner. Not everywhere. Let's call it kebab in English. YouTube free though to learn poker. Yeah, I know. There's some good content on YouTube now, but obviously never high class content. Everyone who is doing YouTube content obviously isn't playing like super good, otherwise they wouldn't give out their tips. I believe one of the few players that is really good is TaToH, but like the quality, like the hand analysis is very basic. He always does. He isn't going into the real things. Well, Danny Negreanu isn't that great when it comes to Hold'em content. He understands very little of it. Like, not very little, he's still good, but like, it sounds super arrogant and no one believes me, but I think I'm a better no limit Hold'em player than Danny Negreanu. And probably like a lot of people would agree with that. Okay, let's jump into game number 5 here. We are looking at Byzantines Portuguese war on Team Islands, and well, players aren't really deleting their scouts, so maybe thinking about the very long run. Now fast fire ships, we have Byzantines war at the right hand side, left hand side war is the Portuguese one, and we actually see a stable by Bruh. Well, this is an interesting one. Aye. Hamburg isn't expensive like the south. Okay, Pomdöner. Isn't that a great one? Okay, I'm not really sure, but there's still a little fighting going on so far. Going for caravels now. We can see Slam going for mainly galleons instead of the more HP at the start and having the better damage output. Otherwise, instead, they're pretty much identical. Spring getting the good advantage here on water and setting up markets quite early. Getting the defensive castles up now as well, and what? I just saw some weird arrows. Okay, demos now could get some solid hits off. We have Miguel at pop 30, Bruh at 35. Their enemies here around the 60s. Slam is playing another very good game here. Spread formation with all his galleons. Trying to do the damage. Caravels not getting the damage done here at the moment. Oh, demos now closing down the distance. And they're getting some good hits in. Ay. And finishing that one off as well. Suddenly, Bruh at pop 60. Well, that's a lot of, Cavaliers at his home base. Congrats to that. Castle still there for the denial. We have Spring now even going for some galleons as well. Would love to see some cannon guns behind that as well, trying to snipe down some of the castles, snipe down some of the docks as well. Just get a bit more overall control. Slam with his galleons in quite a solid position here as well. Casts up by Spring, so will defend quite reasonably well against cannon guns as well. Slam paid some gold to Spring, who is producing quite reasonably out of his docks. I like that quite a bit. Oh, that's a lot of demos. Oi. Oh, let's take a look. Demo against demo fights, maybe. Oh boy. Oh, that's bad for Spring. He could lose a lot here. Uh-oh, maybe Miguel can get the comeback done here. That was a big waste by Spring. Oh, but he is already preparing a landing behind there as well. Spring completely out of wood, and he has... How many villagers does he have on wood? One. That's the only one. Well, then it's tough for him to really get something going here, right? Same time, Slam. Oh god, his demo shots are so good as well. Cannon galleon, elite cannon galleons even from the Portuguese. Lots of control here at the front. Some galleons out now trying to snipe them, but will lose their lives in exchange. Hasa raiding for Spring. Does not have a lot of gold and still very little villagers on wood. Not the greatest move by him so far. I love how Slam is playing this out. Very aggressive, getting good trades, very active on the map. And Miguel, though, now getting back onto the water. But that's a lot of cataphracts. Let's take a look what they can do. Look at that, Bruh now switched away from caravels into galleons as well. Massive amount of wood left. 4, Brazilians on the island. And oh, look at that! Wait, 3 Victorias. Interesting. So let's take a look at Bruh's resources as well. That's something we don't see too often. I was checking the stats in preparation as my for my matches today as well, and I would have went for some as well. And I like that I can see 3 of those. Oh, big raid into the gold spot here though, and Bruh is not taking care about that at all. He's taking an unfortunate fight on the water at the same time, so some small losses for him. And well, pop 160. But remember that 60 pop in those buildings. Oh, Miguel, can you take another fight? And we have a small pause. Ah, and that's at military. Okay. We are trying to run around. We'll get some shots of those 2 castles, but I believe some Galleons will make it over. Maybe into that castle. They need to position themselves pretty nicely here. Victoria is actually worth it in the end. I think only on Team Islands. On any other map, obviously they're worse than villagers, but you have the scenario where you run out of resources on this map. So having them actually gives you a chance to maybe win in the very long run. Okay, the account is asking, is there anybody being interested? Oh, by the way, I wanted to talk about some pom dinners I ate yesterday. Just kidding. I'm lab grade at everything. Not sure about that. And not sure about the continuation of this series here. So could it be okay on prairies too, in case you actually take Portuguese on the map, but you should not? No, on prairie they should be bad. I believe every land map they are bad. And even Baltic, it's I believe only on Team Islands they're viable. I personally think they are too weak. But that's just me. More pause. Let's tab out in the game lobby to see if they're still in game. Seems like yes, they are. So it's still a pause only. No one dropped. Let's write something. Maybe someone replies back. Oh no. Did I drop? Anyone? Hello? Someone there? Oh, Bankbuster saves the day. Let's see about their reaction. Oh, I just see a shot. Oh, guys, this game continues. Maybe I just needed to write something. Okay, taking another engagement again. Oh god, and those Gallons aren't doing a lot of damage. Running into all those castles, even some hit squad coming around trying to smash those down. Miguel is clearing that up though, and not 100% sure how efficient that was for Spring after all. Water is somewhat back into control here for Miguel. Bruh is taking, well, let's call them engagements. Yes. And Bruh just needed a break. 1 minute, he said. I thought my life was ending. 1 minute. Well, you can't play Age of Empires without food, right? It's a very basic element of the game. Of course. Chasing around the whole map. Demos finally closing down the distance. I'd say that's another good engagement for Slam here. Oh, but well, Miguel is coming over. So actually, Bruh shouldn't fall back. I think they should just force the engagement here. And that's what they're doing now. Now some Praxes could do some reasonable damage and some demos, obviously. Why do Galleons instead of Caravels? Galleons have more HP, and Caravels needs to do damage in a line. And if you just patrol in, seems like they aren't doing that. Oh, trying to go for some snipes, but Slam nicely microing back his cannon guns here. Good stuff by them. Overall, KDs looks even. That, well, seriously pretty even. Okay, interesting stuff. Oh god, those demos could be so good. Oh, I'm clearing all that up. Ay, 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 ay. Miguel, ay, 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 ay. And suddenly, where did all his military go? Didn't he just have a Method 60 pop army? Well, goodbye to that. Now down to, well, roughly 20. But more demos coming over, so that could get into single digits here. Slam's still pretty active as well, killing more demos as they come out. Sweet stuff. Having a lot of cannon guns here as well. That's sweet stuff by them. In full control here, now adding some lead cannon guns himself. And to snipe down all those castles. Miguel desperately trying to get back onto this, but only 35 military for him. Compare that to the 60 of Slam and Spring each. And they're controlling quite a bit of the front land here. Should kill a lot of houses, should control a lot of the wood lines, and should be able to kill all the dogs, then open themselves for some potential trade raids. But for now, Miguel still trying. And that's a lot of good stuff, and well, Galleons in the Viking teams were not the really best unit. Spring just went for them because he felt he won the water, but once those fast fires are closing down the distance, it's getting tricky again. But Slam is here to help. The cannon, the fast fires, if they try to close down the distance, aren't going to perform too well under castle fire either. And once demos are out, they're dying as well. Oh, Slam now with a drop off, but instantly spotted by Bruh. So yeah, look at that. 2 traps there. That won't really work. Some catters trying to help out as well. Should maybe snipe down those castles. Interesting stuff. roughly the same populations on this map. Do we have any landings other than the one we already spotted? Not really. And castle number 2 and a siege workshop coming up as well. BRUH sending a lot of villagers into his death. Not 100% sure if I like that. It's not like he has way too many. He's trying to buy time here, or what is this plan? Interesting. Trying to go for the defense now. That castle will go up. Yeah, some villagers will lose their life, but that happens. Down to pop 150 and another castle. So Slam is trying to get a forward base done here with some organ guns, with some cannon galleons, probably. Or bombard cannons, I want to say. And then go for some control of the start area here of Brian. Maybe kill those 3 Vitoritas, because that's the main thing that is holding Brian in this game. He is down to 44 villagers at the moment. Pretty tough stuff for him. That Ramgo didn't work out as planned as well. Maybe the demo should have flagged a bit earlier to have that running at the somewhat same time here. Spring still active with his cannons. That's a beautiful job by them as well. And oh boy, that's a lot of cannons prepared as well. And Slam is sending them over. Do we maybe see Miguel? Oh god, Slam, you shouldn't go back here. And yeah, another 20 cannons being landed over. Pretty sweet stuff, and that looks like a solid landing. Trying to go with more siege workshops up himself now. And now we see the mix of caravels and galleons. Maybe we can see the big engagements. Oh god, those transporters! 50 HP and, well, the drop-off is real. So it's looking good for them. And Slam is actually continuing with this push, and this looks like they can maybe get the 4-1 done. Remember guys, BRUH's pop here. Yeah, he is at pop 180, but that's 3 Vitoritas as well. Oh, maybe losing their trade could be an option. Water control obviously still super important, and maybe somehow if they can kill the trade and miraculously hold on the land, they can maybe still win this game. Castle down, now taking good care of those markets here as well, but no real water production. Cataphracts, can they deny this castle? Seems like they could have done this, but in the end couldn't. Markets going down, Slam building more castles. Now going back though. Miguel trying to get some control over in the middle, and that's just a pretty brutal raid here. A lot of trade cards going down, and even more cataphracts are coming over, and they're completely stopping that trade at the moment. Look at that trade amount going below 30, villagers dying over there as well. And this kind of has to be the game, because I don't really see Slam losing those. He's now taking the Vitoritas under his radar as well, and trade amount dropping down to, look at that, soon to be single digits. BRUH is typing the GG. Miguel and Bruh, after 2 losses in this tournament, are dropping out at place number 16 to 13. And we have Slam and Spring continuing in the loser bracket round of 12. Interesting stuff here for sure. Very poor start by the 2 Brazilians. Didn't take care about that at all, that you need to delete the scout, how you build houses, and you need to send villagers on wood early and everything else. Poor engagement over and over again, or at least in the start. Raiding with Cutters was pretty nice. Spring, an active guy, should be pretty happy with his performance, and they continue in this tournament. Congrats to them.